there, folks. Let's talk about sex. Those were the exact same words my teenage self would have liked to hear from her teacher, who was about to begin teaching a chapter on human body and reproduction process in high school. But well, my lectures were a little different. Picture this. You're sitting in a grade 9 biology classroom in India. The atmosphere feels tense, and there's a palpable sense of discomfort among everyone present. Your teacher begins by introducing some concepts of anatomy and human reproductive system. Your classmates, coming from diverse cultural backgrounds, nervously giggle and even avoid making eye contact. Your teacher then swiftly skips through all discussions regarding relationship, consent, sexual orientations, and bodily anatomies due to cultural sensitivities. This was my 9th grade biology lecture, which was a far cry from the comprehensive sex education that young individuals truly need. And this gap has left many of us with very limited guidance to deal with the complexities of sex, sexuality, and identities. Ever notice how we are so comfortable discussing about the weather rather than talking about the birds and the bees? It's like sex is the elephant in this room, and instead of addressing it, we are just tiptoeing around its giant, awkward shadow. So today, I'm here to turn on the lights, to embrace the discomfort, and to dive headfirst into the world of sex education. A world where the talk isn't an uncomfortable rite of passage, but rather a lively, open conversation. And hey, if we can't be upfront about it, then what's the point? So, let's talk about the stuff that I was never taught at school, but secretly wanted to know. 2 years ago, I made a brave decision to move away from home to the UK to pursue my master's. The approach towards sex here made a refreshing departure from the silence and stigma that I was accustomed to back at home. I was pleasantly surprised to see condoms readily available in public vending machines and menstrual products being distributed across the university campus for free. To add on to the cultural shock that I was experiencing, we received this bag. We received this bag at a welcome fair, which contained of free sexual health products inside. What was funny, though, was an amusing incident happened when my Indian friend was on a video call with her dad. He saw this bag in the background and asked her what was written on it. My friend then instantly jumped out of her chair, zoomed into the bag to avoid displaying or saying the word sex out loud. We definitely had a good laugh about it, and I even made fun of her for it. But then, it got me thinking. It got me thinking about the youth back in my home country who are forced to grow up with an unnecessarily stigmatized outlook regarding sex. It also reminds me of the time when the boldest thing to do in a game of truth or dare with my friends was to go to a medical store and buy a packet of condoms, which was followed by disapproving stares by all the people around us. Historically, Indian society was much more accepting and inclusive than most other cultures. Even the country boasts with a treasure trove of texts and scriptures that describe a very nuanced understanding of human sexuality. The renowned Kama Sutra, which is one of the ancient Indian texts, explores different sex positions and even delves deep into the psychology of love and desire, stressing on the importance of mutual respect, consent, and pleasure in intimate connections. Adding on to this, even the ancient Indian temples are adorned by sculptures and artwork portraying different forms of sexuality and intimacy, often with spiritual undertones. It was never considered a taboo. In fact, It was expressed rightfully as a natural way of human life and spirituality. Yet, paradoxically, as time progressed, due to conservative attitudes and colonial influences, this topic became shrouded into secrecy and myth, evolving into a taboo that loomed large over the society. In many cultures around the world, parents often resort to creating imaginative stories when asked about how babies are born. Just like how my friend believed that she was delivered by an angel until high school. This is majorly due to a desire to shield children from potentially uncomfortable or complex topics of discussions. These stories can range from whimsical tales of babies being delivered by storks or even found in cabbage patches to more elaborate narratives involving divine intervention. Yeah, sure, you might argue that they are just children and that it's best to wait until they reach a certain age to introduce them to sex education, fearing that it will only lead to experimentation out of curiosity. But consider this. In the 21st century technologically advanced era, the notion of delaying sex education until a certain age is becoming completely outdated. With children navigating gadgets like a pro and accessing a wealth of information online, the risk of misinformation is ever present. And parents might unknowingly expose their children to insufficient and inadequate information, which creates potential problems in the future. So, it's not about encouraging premature experimentation. It's about providing them with the right tools and understanding to protect themselves against harm and to make informed decisions. Now, let me sprinkle a few eye-opening statistics. Did you know that India was infamous for its high rates of child marriage? According to the UNICEF, which is an agency that helps to improve education and health for children, around 24% of Indian girls are married before the age of 18. That's like playing a game of how I met my spouse even before you hit puberty. In a country where abortions are mostly illegal and majority of the rape crimes go unpunished, young women are left grappling with the consequences of unplanned pregnancy without access to proper guidance and support. According to a survey conducted by the Times of India, which is an Indian English language news media, around 68% of Indian youth have limited contraceptive knowledge. And brace yourselves, the National Family Health Survey, which is a large-scale survey of health and family welfare in India, revealed that about 28% of married women between the age of 15 and 49 had an unmet need for family planning, indicating gaps in contraceptive knowledge and access. You must be wondering, oh dear, it must be so hard living like this. Ah, but the UK, you've got it all figured, right? Well, hold on to your crumpets, folks, because even across the pond, sex ed isn't always a walk in the park. Despite its reputation of being more open-minded, a recent survey by the Sex Education Forum found that about 48% of youth in the UK receive very little or no information about consent in their sex ed classes. Even more alarming, according to the UNESCO, about half of the young people worldwide receive insufficient or inadequate knowledge about reproduction and sexuality before the age of 18. And the consequences of this knowledge gap are far-reaching, from the spread of sexually transmitted infections to other often outlook problems such as misconceptions about gender roles, misunderstandings about boundaries that leads to coercion, and the inclination to seek information through pornography, which in turn results in addiction and fosters harmful attitudes regarding relationships and sex. As an international student, I have had the privilege to first-hand exposure of diverse cultures and perspectives. Studying abroad has shown me that the education system here is much more open and inclusive regarding the topic of sex education. However, despite being in such an advanced and progressive environment, some challenges persist. I have also encountered the task of bridging the gap between my upbringing and this community's expectations that sort of seeks a more open dialogue regarding such matters. It's a delicate dance between two cultural worlds, highlighting the importance of acknowledging and respecting diverse perspectives on this universal issue. In my previous environment, misconceptions and societal taboo around sexual health prevailed, leading to avoidable problems for many, including friends who have suffered from unplanned pregnancies and mental health issues stemming from stigma and misinformation. My own journey has highlighted the global disparity in sex education and also the profound impact it has on individuals' lives. It has shown me that it's not just about imparting academic knowledge. It's about equipping everyone with the tools and understanding to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. Through personal experiences and witnessing friends' struggles, what I've come to realize is this. When it comes to sex education, it's not just a matter of public health. It is a human rights imperative. Every individual, regardless of gender, nationality, or background, deserves the right and access to information about their bodies and their rights. So, what's the takeaway from all this chaos? Well, it's simple. When it comes to sexual health, knowledge isn't just power. It is liberation. Whether you are in India, the UK, or anywhere in between, let's break those awkward barriers. Let's have those uncomfortable conversations. And let's empower ourselves with the facts. And let's remember that it's not just about teaching biology, but fostering a culture of understanding, safety, and respect. So, it is my call to the community to step into this brave new world where the past informs the present and the present shapes the future, freeing it from the shackles of taboo. As we navigate this journey together, let's build a world where teachers don't feel compelled to skip through the pages of sex education. Thank you.